I'm Elana, I'm a sophomore, and I'm a social work major.
I'm Jake, I'm a freshman, and I'm a therapeutic recreation major.
The decline in bee populations can be linked to three main causes, the first being industrial agriculture. Bees suffer from the destruction of natural habitats caused by agriculture because their natural ranges overlap with industrial farming land. It is becoming increasingly evident that some insecticides create clear negative effects on the health of pollinators, both individually and at colony level.
Second main cause is parasites and pathogens. The ability of bees to resist diseases and parasites seems to be influenced by a number of factors, particularly their nutritional status and their exposure to toxic chemicals. Some pesticides, for example, seem to weaken honeybees that then become more susceptible to infection and parasite infestation. And thirdly, climate change is affecting the populations. Honeybee populations are very uneven among agricultural regions. There is growth in some honey-producing countries, but decline elsewhere.
A survey done by Dennis Van Engelsdorp, Jerry Hayes Jr., Robin M. Underwood, and Jeffrey Pettis discusses the leading causes in the bee population decline. The 5 most commonly mentioned suspected causes include a poor queen, starvation, mites, CCD, colony collapse disorder, and weather.
The bee population is essential to the world's way of life. Without them, many things that animals, plants, and humans depend on would become no more. For example, without the pollination from our friends the bees, many plants that animals thrive on will become scarce, which in turn will cause those animals that depend on those plants to become scarce as well. Also, when animals become scarce due to a decrease in plants, like cows for example, we as humans won't be able to have milk as an abundance resource. So our friends the bees need as much protection as possible. Shown here in our graph constructed from 100 individual responses, we asked 4 questions to get a sense of how people feel about the declining bee population. Our first question showed that over 70% of people that took our survey either agreed or strongly agreed that we need bees. Our second question showed that over 90% of individuals either agreed or strongly agreed that bees are crucial for pollination. Our third question was a little more spread out than the previous questions, but still yielded to most of individuals agreeing that there will be global issues if bees disappeared. Lastly, our fourth question was even more spread out than any other question, with 15% of individuals having a neutral response. Even with so many neutral responses, the data was still skewed toward agreement in the bees' population being in danger.
There are a few ways to become bee friendly. First, you should rethink your lawn. By replacing all lawn grass with flowering plants, you are creating food and habitats for bees. The flowers you plant should also be single-headed flowers. These produce more nectar and make it easier for bees to pollinate. Building homes for native bees is also a way to become bee friendly. Using only natural pesticides and fertilizers can help. Ladybugs, praying mantis, and spiders will naturally keep pests away. Finally, starting a garden is an easy and simple way to create an inviting place for bees to come.